happened last week. In fact, right after we were done with our show on Thursday night, a week ago tonight, after we're done recording the show, my cousin from Buffalo and his wife, Chris and Elena, if you're scoring at home, they are chatting me up afterwards. And my cousin Chris, who is like desperately trying to grow some sort of facial hair, apparently that gene skipped him. And talking about, we should all grow mustaches. And then that leads to, Matt, why haven't you ever worn a goatee instead of just a full beard? And my answer to him was that, if you can grow a full beard, you don't stop at the goatee, you grow the full beard, and you do that for those who cannot grow the full beard. You do it in their honor. But But anyway, as if some sort of like internet inception, they plant this idea in my brain about the goatee, the thing that I've never ever done facial hair wise, at least not since, those vague attempts when we were all in college. We all tried it back then. So, the following day I'm like, I gotta trim this beard. It's out of control. It's 90 degrees. I'm sweating and this cannot stand. And I start to trim my beard and then I stop and I go, well, maybe I'll just leave this here and just see if I can do that. So yeah, my cousin and his wife, they brainwashed me into growing a goatee, and now I have it. And now, the Sorg has seen it and the internet has seen it, and it's become quite a fun thing. I've become the mirror universe version of myself. And so that's why I have a goatee. And how long will it last? I don't know. Probably till it gets too hot and I get sick of it, because it has been pretty hot around here lately. It's been an air conditioning kind of week, wouldn't you say, Doug?
I have to say that so we have central air, but it doesn't go above the first floor. Oh. So it's centralized to the first floor because it's an old unit, and we just I don't know. We've heard different things from different guys that we've had come out to the house to look at it, especially for insulation around here. They're like, yeah, there's no airflow upstairs. I was like, really? Captain Obvious, tell me some more. Why is that? And I've heard so many different stories, because air will get up there, just doesn't get up there very well. So about a year or two ago, I took some of the vents off on our top floor just to kind of look around to see where I could run some cabling. And I noticed that the previous owner, their kids apparently shoved toys down the vents.
Oh, no.
And so it's at the point where it kind of bends down in the basement where I can't really get to it. So all these toys are stacked going upstairs, which is why we can't get a lot of
what kind of toys are we talking about, Doug? Like, we got some collector's items.
No, they're not collector's items. They're like thrift store throwaway kind of things. Like if I saw, Luke Skywalker or He-Man or Battle Cat down there, I would have ripped that sucker out by now.
We're taking out all the ductwork for Battle Cat.
Oh,
get him out of there.
Yeah, you can't have Battle Cat unless he has got the full gear, though.
Yeah,
that's the deal breaker right there. But I looked down at it, and it's mostly like little kids' toys, like little trains and stuff like that. I'm like, man, at some point I can either clean that out or I could go get fans in the window. So I went and got fans in the windows because it's just easier that way. And I have air conditioning in my window, and it does a great job. But you can only run it for so long, because if you got central air going and an air conditioner, then electric bill is more than a mortgage payment.
Yeah, it gets up there. Yeah, we've got the air conditioning issue where you get the very uneven distribution of the air conditioning throughout the house. So you've got, basement is essentially an ice box. Kitchen's pretty cold. You hit the second floor and you're starting to feel like the heat, like it's not getting all the way up there. So perhaps there are some toys lodged in the vents in my own home. So Doug, now you've given me an idea to search out all my vents now to find out what's lurking in there.
Well, as we're walking up our steps, you can actually feel where that divide is. It's kind of like Route 80, where we know everything north of 80 is going to be terrible weather and everything south of 80 is really nice. That's what it's like. Yeah. Because as we're going up, as soon as you get up past where the ceiling's at, going up the steps, you can tell like it's about to get really hot up here.
Yeah, there's like a humidity force field protecting the ground floor from the second floor, and you gotta get through that.
I don't mind it too much, but other people in this house like it as an ice box. So it's a constant fight over who's controlling what. And if I could have my way, I'd probably just put a cot up in the basement, sleep down there.
Where it's cold.
It's nice. It's cool.
Cool.
Because I can control the vents down there.
Yeah. That never hurts either. So Doug, I was thinking before we came onto the show, I was like, this week has really flown by. This has not been so bad. We kind of zipped through. Feels like, I only have gone through a couple days. And I remembered Memorial Day was on Monday. I cheated. We are doing the short week. Was this, well, let me go with that question then. Was the day off on Monday a blessing or a curse? Did it give you an extra day to recharge?
No.
Or did it throw everything off kilter?
It threw it off kilter, and I had to log in and work Monday morning.
Oh.
Because not everyone in the world celebrates Memorial Day or has that as a day off for bank holidays or anything else. So I had a couple urgent requests that came in. I'm like, you know what? I'll do them. I shouldn't, but I'll do it. No, actually, I should probably do it. So I'm going to do it. I would have anyways. That's just the way I've always worked, especially when I was in IT. Like, if something comes in, you just do it. Whatever, it's fine. But then I got into work mode was the problem. So I didn't mind doing the project that came in. But after I was logged in, I'm like, ooh, well, I can answer this email. I could do this ticket. I could do that. Not thinking it's a holiday. And this could very easily wait till tomorrow. But I did it anyways, and it was fine. But later in the day, though, then I started thinking it was Sunday.
Yeah.
Which messed me all up. Because we had stuff Monday night that we had planned, some Zoom meetings, and I totally forgot what day it was. Even though it was a holiday, we were still going to do some Zoom things just with like family stuff like that.
That's cool.
So that kind of like threw off that just threw everything off. Then Tuesday came. I'm like, wait, do I have my Monday meetings or say Tuesday? I have to look at the kids' schedule. I'm like, I don't know what day it is. And thankfully, one of the podcasts I listened to, they have a live show on Tuesday nights along with the Sorgatron Media Network.
Mm-hmm.
One of the barbecue shows I listen to at noon on every Tuesday, the Barbecue Central show sends out an email saying, here's who's on the show tonight. I'm like, oh, it's a Tuesday. All right. Now I know where I'm at, I think. But everybody else I talked to, it was the same thing. They're like, yeah, something happened with work or something threw it off. We don't realize that it's Tuesday, but we think it's Monday. And even today, I had to look at my calendar and go, okay, who was I supposed to meet with today? All right, I got this down. I think I'm right. And yeah, it's just one of those things. And it doesn't help that the kids' schedule this week has been crazy too, because this is our last week of school.
Oh, that's exciting.
So it's the last week of actual online learning, and then next week is finish up any of your projects, turn in your books, your Chromebooks, whatever's going to happen there. So we were sitting down getting projects done, and I have to give my oldest credit because we've had issues with the online learning of teachers were putting stuff in like Google Classroom, and other ones were putting it in this other thing called Option C. And then there's Zoom meetings and everything. Not everyone was kind of centralized, and we realized that we were like 15 assignments behind in one class.
Oh,
but we went in and we're like, oh, because it was submitted in one spot but not the other. So we got some of them done. That way, the other ones we had to actually work on.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like last minute insanity, but everything's turned in. The teachers are happy with it. Kids got graded and we're set. But it's like that. Oh my God, it's already the end of May.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And the kids are going to be here 24/7. Starting in about a week. Now, what do we do?
Yeah. Well, we've been going basically in lockstep from the point where this whole lockdown drama started. This is episode 11, Doug. You've survived 11 weeks in lockdown so far. And our district, we've got a few more weeks, a vaguely named few weeks. I don't really have not asked when we're done. I don't want to know. I just want to keep forging ahead. But just like you, I am concerned about this pile of uncompleted assignments that are lurking somewhere. And I've tried to be extra, searchy when I'm going through the assignments on the Google Classroom with my youngest, kind of making sure, okay, any strange extra emails from a teacher? Is there anything, what's underneath this thing with no due date assigned to it, which is like super long, but seems to get whittled away as you work through it over the days. But yeah, I'm nervous that we will get to what should be the official end of the school year, and there will be like another week of work that must still be completed before I can get my children, shoved across that finish line.
That the whole no due date thing really just messed us up, because when my kids were looking at it, like, oh, well, I still have time on this. And I'm like, guys, you have like 2 days. Like, we got to make sure everything is taken care of around here. And it's been challenging, but we've gotten better with it. And I give the teachers all the credit in the world, because of the fact that they've been very helpful with and understanding with, okay, look, we're all in a new situation here. Let's kind of figure this out. But also we're in the middle of a merger and a church merger, and just tons of stuff going on at once. And
yeah.
and then even like the state of Pennsylvania is changing on who's open, who's not open. We've got people going green. There's other ones staying yellow. People are in the red. Like,
yeah, if you're listening to us and you're not in Pennsylvania, we're using this county by county model where it's red, it's yellow, it's green.
Are we the only ones using that?
Pennsylvania, we're kind of in the green. I mean, I've talked to people from other states, and they've been like, it's one or the other. I think New York is it's all one way or it's all the other. Maybe I kind of feel like going county by county is the way to go, especially of a fairly large state, which I believe Pennsylvania is still considered a fairly large state. Some living in larger states may disagree on that one, but that's neither here nor there.
At us.
Yeah, everyone in Texas just laughed. So, my child's about to do a run-in. When's your last day of school? June
8th.
8?
Maybe.
That doesn't seem too far away. Tina from Seattle chimed in. She says they're done on June 19th.
Wow.
Yeah, so... And she also says in Washington State they're doing things in phases too. So that's, yeah. That's good to know. It is kind of like a weird zone that we're in right now, kind of this uncertainty of like, are we back? Are we not? I mean, we know we're not all the way back. That's not coming anytime soon right now. But, we're trying to, kind of feel our way through this kind of yellow-green mode that we're in right now.
The big thing for us is that we have family that are out towards Philly. Then we also have, which has always been like a reddish kind of area, because that's been a hot spot. We have a lot of family in the green in central PA right now. And then we're over here in the yellow. And it's funny because like Erie is yellow, Pittsburgh's yellow. Everyone else is pretty much going green. We're like, okay, so can we still go visit family? We're not sure if we can go into the green. Do we have to let people know if we go into the green and come back into the yellow? Like there's nothing that's really keeping that information really current. We're doing our best to stay, still do social distancing. Like we traveled to visit family, and everyone stayed 6 feet away, and everything was fine with that. But we're like, okay, like are there other like restrictions we're supposed to know about? Because nobody seems to know, and it changes every day. So we're like, you know what? I think as long as we stay away from each other, which when it's family, it's not always the most difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
But when you're told you can't, it makes it very difficult, because you're like, now I really want to give everyone hugs. And I can't.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. We actually we held 2 gatherings at our house over the long weekend. On Saturday, there was a little pay-per-views pseudo sporting event going on. And we kind of like, you know what? I kind of miss watching these kinds of things with my friends. Let's see if any of them want to come over. We'll move the TV downstairs. We'll put it in the garage. We'll open the garage door. Everyone will stay outside. No one will ever even enter our house unless it's to use the basement bathroom. And the big joke of it also was that, like, no food, we will serve nothing. My wife, and this is the best party we've ever thrown. We served nothing. We prepped nothing. We cleaned the basement bathroom, and we had a thing of Clorox wipes and hand sanitizer sitting out, and some lawn chairs just sitting out in the driveway. We chalked it out with arrows, so one way, just like the grocery stores, coming one way into the house, coming the other way out of the house. Just absurd. It didn't really matter. There's only like 5 or 6 of us there, but it worked, and everyone kind of stayed in their little area, and it didn't feel like was shouting, across this vast distance whenever I was, talking with my friends while we were watching it.
Mhm.
It's cool. That worked. And again, I don't know how we've done it, but I have somehow trained myself to not even think about the high five, the hug, the handshake. My brain has deleted all of that programming. It doesn't even attempt it anymore. It doesn't even think about it. So that was a successful get together. On Memorial Day, we decided to up the ante. Had a couple of family members over. Had my dad over. Had my sister over, and a couple of her kids. And like I said, we decided to up the ante. We brought out the water sports. Basically, we had like the inflatable pool was out, the inflatable slide was out. We just turned our two boys loose, and they played with their slightly older cousin, who is three years old. Okay, and and that worked too. Grill out, worst outdoor grilling, ever, by me. Doug, don't even get me started. I know you're an expert on these things.
I don't judge. Everyone's got their own. I was there one day. It took me a long time to get to where I'm at right now, so I definitely don't judge anyone.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, very, very simple. Just burgers, dogs, potato salad from the store, and that was it. And again, it was just like 5 or 6 people. And but again, I think we all did really well with it. Like there was nothing ever felt like, okay, we're getting too close to one another. And again, like as we've talked about with kind of like the Buffalo crew, where they've tried their like pods within pods when they've been like doing their self lockdown, where they agree, okay, we're going to stick with our group and we'll be able to get together as long as we don't see anybody else. So as long as we keep our circle tight, we'll be okay. And since, my sister and her kids, are not seeing too many people, and our household, we're not basically going anywhere or seeing anybody for virtually any reason, unless it's just to get to the store or something like that. The circle's pretty tight. So for this weekend, it worked a couple days here or there. Now I'm not gonna push it and start having people over every weekend, but I think it worked out okay. And it made for a semi more normal feeling Memorial Day, which was kind of cool too.
What's been fun around here is, and we've talked with some of the other parents, and they've said the same thing. Like we haven't left, like really, besides to go to the grocery store and back, and we haven't visited much other family or anything. So our kids are playing together right now. They're running around, they're playing, but the kids know, like, I can only get so close to each of my friends, and we've watched them kind of from a distance, and they've been better at it than most adults, and they're just like, oh, because to them, it's just it's just another thing. Yeah, we can't play football and basketball and tackle each other, but we can still go ride bikes. And that's what they've been doing. They've been riding bikes and doing and they've actually been recording things too of what it's like in quarantine time.
Yeah.
So cool. I'm anxious to see how this is going to turn out, because I've watched a couple of the videos. I'm like, guys, it's not bad. Like, you're doing better than some adults I know right now. So maybe you could do something with this. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be interesting once summer gets here, though, because we did go out and buy an inflatable pool. Not a huge one. Just it's the one I think that most families are buying right now. Like I saw Uncle Crappy had posted on Facebook that he bought the same pool that we got, and like 5 other people said, "Oh yeah, I went out and bought that one," because I think it's like 3 feet high, maybe 10 feet long, something like that. But it's like a great pool because kids can go in it and adults can go in it and not touch anyone.
Right.
And we don't have big yards where we're at, so it actually fits in our backyard. My wife wanted to upgrade to a bigger one. I'm like, no. Because all I think of is if it pops, we're flooding everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm not dealing with that. But the one that we have right now is fine, and it's worked so far. It's a shame that Dormont Pool's not going to reopen, but I understand why it's not reopening.
Yeah.
But I did see, I believe it was today, they announced that state parks and beaches will be reopening.
Yes.
So maybe a trip to Presque Isle is in the works here soon.
Yeah. I mean, it is definitely getting to that point where, and my wife is from Erie, and so we have her parents living up there in Erie, and definitely the conversation's been happening a lot more. Like, that Is this the weekend we're going to go up and see your parents? Or is this the weekend we're going to Erie? Are we going to actually hit the road in the middle of all this? And I don't know. I mean, is this the weekend we should go? I don't know. It's this weekend or next weekend. It feels like
this weekend. This weekend, it's gonna. I think it's supposed to rain, so you might want to wait.
All right, great excuse to put off that visit to the.
I think it's like the next couple of weeks. It's supposed to be really nice out, but it may not be until July 1st when they open. I think so. It's probably the following weekend is when they're going to open the beaches. But they had it was some weird, typical Pennsylvania. It's some weird way how they're going to roll this out, and since June 1st is a Monday. You know, so that's when it starts. So you can't really do anything this weekend, but maybe next weekend you can go out and do something. I did hear that at one point the line at Sarah's down on Presque Isle went from Sarah's restaurant all the way up past Waldemere. Because
I believe that.
You have to have cars. You have to go through the drive-through to get your food. So the line went all the way up past Waldemere. I'm like, I could see that. And if I had a coupon, I'd probably be waiting in line too because I really like Sarah's.
I've been, and I can totally see how that could happen. I've sat in some epic drive-through lines during this whole situation over the past couple months. There's a Chick-fil-A near my house. This sucker backs up out of the parking lot. It goes around the building. It goes out into the adjacent parking lot. It goes like down, like they've got like the pseudo roads that go through the parking lots. It goes out into the parking lot of the shopping center. This is the one near Century 3 Mall for all you Yinzers. And it goes all the way down past the DSW, past the Value City Furniture. It's almost reaching the Best Buy. Like this line is long and it's like this. It's every day. 24. It does not matter what time you drive by. You drive by at noon, it's lined up around the block. You drive by at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's lined up around the block. I don't know. And you know what? I'm the idiot too. I've sat in that drive-through once or twice, and then I got wise and started to order in advance. That works a little bit better. And now I'm trying to think of the other places that have like been really backed up. There's a Chipotle nearby. But granted, they don't have a drive-through. But there's a swarm of people outside this Chipotle constantly just waiting for their food. It just at least like 10, 15 people all the time just standing out there waiting.
Well, Wendy's on West Liberty is like that right now. Like they go out into West Lib waiting to get into that place. McDonald's is half a block away and there's nobody there.
Oh.
Now, granted, there was an incident at the McDonald's on West Liberty, which if you want to Google that, you're more than welcome to, but it is not work safe. Probably read most of it. But I do know the Chick-fil-A you're talking about because we shop at the GFS right down there.
Yeah.
And every time we've gone down there, we make the comment of, look how long that line is at Chick-fil-A.
We are
insane.
Yeah.
And you know what? The one in Bethel is the same way too. Like not on Sundays, but like on Saturdays, that's when we really notice it. Like it will go out, and this is before the whole pandemic. The line for that would go out and like wrap around onto, as far as it could go. And someone's out there taking orders, but when you get up to that window, your order's ready. Like it's a well-oiled machine out there.
I mean, they have no choice. Like there would be traffic jams everywhere if they didn't do something. Our man Sorgy's chiming in here with all your Pittsburgh area drive-through info. Chick-fil-A in Robinson has 40 takeout spots, but there's still people sitting in line. I know, Sorg. The mobile ordering is definitely a lifesaver, and I've started to do that with the Chick-fil-A, and I will try to do that with most places when I feel compelled to go out and pick something up because, it feels better to just sit in your parking space and wait for 15 minutes with your phone than it does to sit in that drive-through line. And the Wendy's on West Liberty, apparently this is one of the more notorious places. So if you know of any
Garden up in Green Tree, I have to give them credit because it's the one night when we were trying to figure out what to eat, we got one of those e-coupons that showed up and said, buy one get one meals at Olive Garden. We're like, this could be interesting, and we had it priced out that the four of us could eat for under $30, which doesn't happen for a family of four at Olive Garden. So we're like, you know what? We can't even do that at Eaton Park or anywhere else. So we were like, what the heck? Let's do it. I got there and they're like, okay, well, you're in spot 18. So just pull right over there and we'll bring it out. And I looked around and there were 18 other people in front of me and there was other ones that were filtering in. I'm like, this is actually kind of cool. I rolled down the window. I was playing on my phone for a little bit. And within 10 minutes, I had my food and I was out of there. And I popped the trunk and they put it in the trunk for me.
Yeah. I did. We did takeout from a Texas Roadhouse near our house and they were really fast. They the same deal. Do the carry-out order ahead. You pull up. There's a lady there waiting for you. You roll down your window. She asks your name. You give her your name. She points you into a spot. You pull into your spot. You sit there. You look at your phone for what feels like a minute and a half. The next thing you know, someone's tapping on your window. Yeah, and they just put it right in your back seat for you, and you drive off like it's nothing. So some of these places really have it together. So definitely, Texas Roadhouse has been a standout, and there's definitely some other local places. Atrius has done a pretty good job. Although I start to worry sometimes that I'm eating out too much, but I'm just like, get the food, you know. Yeah. It feels patriotic to be eating out right now and order takeout, doesn't it, Doug?
And we make it a point that it's at some point we worked in service industry, so we tip heavy for it because they're not making a lot of money. We know it's tough right now for a lot of most of it's a lot of kids too. Yeah. But also, we see parents that are out there because, they're trying, everyone's trying to get by. And we have not had one bad experience with any of our takeouts. Everyone's been very cordial, like more nice than usual. Like some restaurants that we've gone to in the past, if someone's having a bad day, they can let you have it. Or if you just have a nasty waitress, which we've had a few times. And then when we've had all these takeout options, so everyone's like, thank you so much for coming in. I'm like, I tell them, thank you for being open. Thank you for safely preparing my food because we were so stressed out at home. I couldn't even think of dinner tonight. And like, you're helping my mental wellness by being open.
Yeah, exactly.
And I try to hit as many local places as I can, but sometimes that's just not feasible. Like every once in a while I'll get, we'll get a letter in the mail, and it'll have like a gift card in it from an older family member just saying, hey, you wanted to send you something. If you could go get something for the kids or go do something, because our local places, you can't buy the gift cards online necessarily, or, if mom's in Giant Eagle and she sees something for like Olive Garden or any of the Darden restaurants, then, hey, I'll send it down. Maybe they can go grab an appetizer or something.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely want to support the local places, the smaller businesses. And we definitely try to do that. To pick and choose. But yeah, you're even right. Like, these larger franchises, they've got workers who are, they're workers just like us, so even though it's got a big national name on the front of it, those are still people who need those jobs and need the traffic to keep them in business and, just create the man hours that they need to staff that place so that they can keep paying people.
Well, that's the way I see it too, because I did get some slack from, go figure. So, people on social media gave me slack because I said that I went to Olive Garden. They're like, there's mom and pop places you need to go to. I'm like, I do. But you know what? These other people also are our neighbors, our brothers and sisters and moms and dads. They're working too, and they need to make a living. So you know what? If I can help them out too, you put your snobbery aside, you help everybody. We buy local, we buy chain. Whatever works for whatever you're doing, because honestly, it was easier for me to order from my phone to pick up from Olive Garden and just go up there and have 15, 20 minutes of peace and quiet so I could be on my phone, get my dinner, and then go home, to where everybody was like screaming and running around and playing video games.
Tina's jumping in. Tina from Seattle's jumping in the chat room again. And she mentioned that she got to finally use the cocktail delivery option up there in the Seattle area.
What?
She said it was cool. She said the driver just used an app, scanned her ID, make sure she was 21. Tina was very nice of him to ask. And I don't blame him for that for a second. And Doug, allegedly we have cocktails to go here in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I have not tried it. Have you tried it? Are you going to try this?
I am not.
To go.
I am not going to try it. Just because I can buy beer.
Indeed.
So if beer wasn't an option, I can still buy beer cheap. I can go to Sheetz and pick up my Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA. Or
suffered a major downgrade, but it's going to be all right. We're going to work through this. It'll be gone soon anyway. So.
Well, and then I also, I went to Sheetz and I did get the hot dog beer, which Spend a couple bucks more and get something else that you really like.
Mhm.
It's not a bad beer. I mean, you don't taste hot dogs at all.
It doesn't taste like hot dog?
Yeah. No, it's a dry IPA, which isn't my style. It's not something that I'm crazy about. I can objectively, there we go, drink a beer and be fine, and say, here's what I think about the beer. It was just kind of boring to me, which is fine. And people could drink it and like it, but there's no hot dog taste to it at all. No.
Who's making this hot dog beer?
I can't even say their name. Sheets. We'll just say it's Sheets making it.
I doubt it.
No, it's
okay.
They donated the hot dogs that went into the brewing of the process.
Sheets hot dogs?
Yes, yeah, they actually use Sheets hot dogs.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, we all love Sheets here in PA, but I mean, the hot dog from Sheets is the lowest life form probably from the MTO menu. But
yeah, it's I believe it's Neshaminy. I can never pronounce. That's just one of those words I always get like mush mouth when I try to say it.
Neshaminy, yeah. Well, I mean,
Neshaminy Creek.
I love when they drop those little names in there. Part of the joy of living here in PA.
I can't say half the cities out in eastern Pennsylvania, but I'm going to say Neshaminy because I say it with like a Pittsburgh accent is the problem.
Yeah, it's kind of messes everything up.
In my head, I can hear how to say it, but verbal, like actually, coming out of my mouth, and I butcher it every time. But yeah, it is a dry hop IPA. It's 5.5%, which it's session beer. It's not. You can drink a few of those. It just wasn't that appealing to me.
Sorry to hear that.
So there's a quick beer review for listen to your parents talk about beer.
This is what the people have come for because we have got to get whatever means at our disposal. We've got to get through this together.
It was worth trying. I'll put it that way. But for the back to the slushy thing though. So there's Beer Lime and Sunshine up in Green Tree, right next to the Starbucks, which also has a ridiculously long drive-through line all the time. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're open right now though.
Probably not this hour. Or like at all right now?
Like at all. I haven't seen too many people up there.
I know that like some of our Starbucks just started to reopen, The
one in Banksville, I think, has new hours.
Yeah.
But the Beer Lime and Sunshine, so I forget who I was saying this to. I mentioned this recently because someone else had asked me about beer slush, or not beer slushies, about alcohol slushies. And Beer Lime and Sunshine has been making slushies for a while with, from what I remember of the sign, it was like Four Loko and maybe like Smirnoff or something. I don't know how they're making it or what license they have to make it, but I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, this is great because there was a longer line for people waiting for those than waiting to actually buy beer because they put them in styrofoam cups and then they drink them. They like go out to their cars. Now, highly illegal, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. But that's like grabbing a six-pack and going out in your car and drinking it. Also, don't do that. Don't do that either.
Just be responsible, kids. Come on. We're all all right. Most of us, when it comes to enjoying a beverage, have reached at this point in our lives, Doug. Most of us, when it comes to consuming alcohol, have reached the pro veteran level. We know our limits. We know when to say when.
We put it in sippy cups.
In 2-2. And when we understand the rules, we set our boundaries, we know exactly what we're doing, and there's nothing to fear. And I think it's it's okay to celebrate that.
Unless we're at home. Then it's like no holds bar.
Exactly.
That's pretty much how it works.
One more thing before we run out of time.
Yeah.
A lot has happened since the last time we had you on the show. But you shared a story about since we were talking about the state parks, some of the parks reopening. You recently mentioned, I saw on social media, you were posting about taking your boys down the Montour Trail.
Yes.
So you want to talk about that real quick and kind of let people know how that went?
That was really fun. I've never actually been on the Montour Trail before because I don't own a bike. So we took the boys down. And we walked because at the time we didn't have bikes. Two boys did, and that's what sold us on. We have to get bikes. Mm-hmm. I ended up getting one for my wife for Mother's Day. I got her this like classic Schwinn design, which she loved, and she's rode that a few times. And then I ordered one on from Walmart, just because I I don't want to spend $400 on a new bike if I'm not going to ride it. I just want something just to go on trails with. And that's been moved from back order to back order. I don't even think I'm going to see this thing till the end of June at this point. But when we went on that trail, though, it was cool that everyone was respectful of like what was of everyone else's personal space, and the kids got to ride, and some people had masks on. Others didn't, which was fine because you're staying far enough away. They had like masks around them, like if you would stop, the mask was there. But it's tough to ride a bike and you've got that piece of cloth like right there in your face.
Yeah,
but everyone kept their distance, and I thought that was really cool. And then I started talking to a few other friends about it, and they're like, "You should really think about getting into biking because it's a fun family activity. You get out and you ride a bike." I'm like, I haven't done that since like high school. Like just rode a bike for the heck of it. And I had a good time riding my son's bike. Then later I got to go on it with, he has like a 10-speed that he was riding, of course, before he breaks it. Yeah. What else happens with the kid's bike? But I got to ride that a few times with him, and I'm like, wow, this really is fun. Like I should think about buying one. And then that's when we ended up placing that order with Walmart. And if I like that, then you know what? I'm trading that in. I'll get one that I really want to get, but I'm not dumping the cash in like a $400 or $500 bike if this is something I'm going to do once or twice a year.
Yeah, it's a tough commit, the biking life. But yeah, I mean the trail sounds awesome.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful trail that we went on.
I probably talked about this too many times on this show, but my family and I have taken multiple trips to Ohiopyle State Park, and it's been great both times we went. And again, the same thing you described, Doug. It's just people kind of like there are people there. You are seeing other people. They are around, but everyone's kind of maintaining their bubble, and everyone's very respectful of it. So you don't even really have to worry about, keeping a mask on or anything like that because you're just not in contact with people. And then if you're lucky enough, you find the right, find a trail to go down, you don't see anybody, and it's great. You're in the outdoors, and it's, just like bicycling and going to the parks. It's crazy stuff that I would not have even considered before any of this started. And now I'm one of these idiots out here in the park with my family. Like I'm a crazy outdoorsman, but it's great. I can get used to it. Definitely. It's interesting that it's it's interesting to see people trying new things during a time when they're supposed to be locked down in their homes. It's like any opportunity to get out, you're not just going to do the same old. You're going to get out and try something new, something that, that you want to do. And I think that's nice.
Well, I think like a positive that's coming out of the virus, because it's in the whole quarantine thing. Because I mean, obviously we're not trying to downplay anything that's happened up to this point, the severity of it. But I think it's showing a lot of people, though, that, you're taking a hard reset on your life, and you're having that chance now to say, like, okay, what can I do better? Or what can I start doing? That's, you take that step back from work or from like the craziness of everyday life. Like, okay, I need to spend more time with myself. What can I do? And I mean, exercise is definitely a part of it. But then I start asking, like, okay, well, what can I do? Because everything's closed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sit back and start drinking more beer and thinking about it, what I could do later. But like the biking was a big thing, and walking. Like I've done a lot of walking. My Fitbit doesn't show that because during the week I'd also work downtown and work other places. So I was constantly walking, but like actually walking for fun. And I would load up on podcast and we just go somewhere. So it's been fun. It's been interesting to see different things that we can do and finding out, different activities. One thing that I didn't expect was I gave in and I played a game of Fortnite, which I felt like the skit from SNL with
really?
Adam Driver. I finally played my first game of Fortnite and I got a kill, which surprised me. But my youngest was happy because he's like, I really want to teach you how to play Fortnite. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I've caved. I'm like, we'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun. I had a good time with them. I'm not going to get into Fortnite. I play other games. But I was just like, okay. And there's something else I didn't think I would ever try because I was so anti-Fortnite because I can't stand it. But then I played. I'm like, all right.
It's
whatever. Yeah, like, you know what? This is something you and I are doing that you're a big fan of it, and I want to understand why you love this so much.
Yeah. I mean, it's too bad. Dave and Tina, we hope to have them on tonight, but they weren't able to make it. But Dave plays a lot with his kid, and we often get together. My son, my youngest, Dave and his kid, and we go running. And eventually, inevitably, there's these moments where Davey and I will branch off, and it'll just be like two dads wandering the landscape. And Doug, I think you'd look good in that posse. I think we should drag you in just for one night. We can get you in here. And three dads.
I could do Apex. I'm always down with Apex. I'm trying to get Sorg into it.
I can't get it too much into Apex. I know my youngest has tried once or twice, but Sorgi, what do you think about Apex? You like Apex? Yeah, Sorgi likes Apex. We are coming up on 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Doug, you've said a lot of very strong things tonight. Is there anything else inspiring wisdom you want to share before we see ourselves out?
Oh, inspiring words of wisdom from Doug. Let's see. YouTube can't replace dad, but it can teach a lot of neat things.
That's just vague enough to work. I'll take that. We're going to run with that. Words of wisdom from Doug. I would just let everybody know that, I will offer, here's some words of inspiration. The end of the school year is right around the corner. It's all downhill from there. You're going to make it. You're going to make it through the school year, parents. And then the kids, you don't have to pay any attention to them anymore. You can just leave them there to waste away for the next few months. It's going to be great. You're almost there. You've done it. All right. So congratulations to you.
Mimosas for everyone.
Yes. Have yourself an extra alcoholic slushie when the school year comes to an end. Reward yourself because you know what? You earned it, parents. You did it. Doug, thank you very much on the show. A lot better than me talking to myself. Sorgatron, thank you very much on the ones and the twos. Go to Sorgatron Media. Check out all we have to offer. Rate, review, subscribe, plug, hit that bell. Anything that feels right, do it. Support Sorgatron Media. They're doing great things. They are churning out content for you to enjoy in the comfort of your own home. So make sure you keep hitting sorgatronmedia.com. Always new stuff every single day for your ear holes. So thank you very much, Sorg. Thank you very much, Doug. Thank you for listening and watching. And we'll see you next time. See you then.
Thank you.